Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Smart Wars MMA, where I will be going over the many controversies, elite fights, and just Ciryl Gane being a little bit dirty. Okay, but with that being said, let's go straight into his first fight of dirtiness, quote unquote, against JDS, where he would low blow him and then in the finishing sequence, elbow him in the back of the head. Now, many people or some people excuse this with saying that JDS was turning his head, maybe trying to run away, obviously, doesn't want to get finished. And so some people could excuse this, but it's just sadly another one of those moments where it's just like Cyril Gane's done it so much to where it's just like it becomes a pattern, obviously. And I mean, yeah, it's just one of the one of many. With that being said, his next fight against Derek Lewis for the interim belt, where Derek Lewis was on a little bit of a streak, obviously would be guys like Volkov and Francis Ngannou, and him having like the most knockouts in UFC history, and he would get shut down by Ciryl Gane, and I guess a quote unquote beautiful masterclass performance from Ciryl Gane, where again he has him hurt against a cage, but he just kind of ruins it with the back of the headshots. Where people are counting this up to like 10 illegal strikes or 14, 15, however many. I don't even think he needs to do this. But sadly, in one of those moments where it's just like a like pretty good win just gets turned into nothing because you're only known for illegal strikes at this point. Or maybe not at this point, but later on. Or like I said, it becomes a pattern. So with that being said, we have his next fight for the undisputed belt against Francis Ngannou. Where I actually thought he won this fight. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he won rounds 1, 2, and 5. I thought he gave Francis his toughest fight besides the Stipe first one, where Francis was really showing levels. But again, this is Francis who just knocked out the heavyweight go and has other great wins like Alistair Overeem. Like, this Francis, he made him use his wrestling. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, offensive wrestling from Francis Ngannou because he was getting outstruck on the feet. Like, Gane was piecing him up and Francis couldn't find like that knockout shot that he normally finds. But at the end of the day, Francis would end up getting the win, which, I mean, I don't think it knocks down Ciryl Gane's performance, or like is like, oh, you lost to Francis Ngannou, the most dangerous heavyweight at all time, possibly, at least in most people's eyes. And so, I mean, I did see somebody say there was a fence grab. I'd like to see that if anybody could show me or like let me know where. But with that being said, his next fight against Tai Tuivasa, the heavyweight goat, um, where Tai Tuivasa was on a little bit of a streak, and quote unquote was prime Tai Tuivasa, one fight away from beating or from fighting John Jones. Where again, Ciryl Gane looks great. I mean, he did obviously have that one hit that he got stunned and wobbled. One of the few times that we see Gane actually wobbled and hurt. But at the end of the day, Gane is winning. Like, he just gets to finish over Taito Ivasa, but it is mostly known for him winding up and just hitting the absolute heck out of Taito Ivasa's back of the head, which I mean is really all this fight's known for pretty much, is Gane just being dirty, which again sucks because he recovered, he won this fight, and I don't know, it just sucks to be honest that maybe it doesn't suck. But anyways, his next fight against John Jones for the heavyweight belt, because Francis Ngannou was, Dana White, that whole thing. But anyways, he would face John Jones for it. Not even 5 seconds in, he would low blow him. 5 seconds. That's all it took. And I honestly think if John Jones were to push forward or like do what Tom did and try to push forward even, just a little bit, he would have got raked across the eyes. Because if you look, that's also another pattern that Gane does when he throws a kick. He pushes out. I mean, a lot of fighters do that, but they're not, known for the eye pokes and the low blows. But anyways, he would get finished within 2 minutes by John Jones. And John Jones just showed levels. I mean, Gane obviously has struggled with the wrestling. But with that being said, his next fight against Sergey Spivak, hopefully I'm saying that right, where again, he's winning the fight, but it doesn't matter because the pattern where he just throws again illegal strikes to the back of the head. And it's just another instance of Gon being dirty, or it's just like another like good heavyweight win, contender win is just like tarnished because you have this one moment of you're like so excited or like just in a frenzy, like an animal frenzy, that you want this finish. With that being said, we have his next fight against Tom Aspinall, the most famous one besides the next one we'll get into. Where again, he looks great in this fight. Tom Aspinall, was like the boogeyman pretty much. Like he's supposed to be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. At least that's what everybody was saying before this fight. And some people still say that even after this fight. I mean, knocked out Curtis Blades, Pavlovich, he made John Jones go retire. And he just gets eye poked. Like he bloodies up Tom Aspinall and defends like the one takedown that Tom shoots. And in hindsight, Tom Aspinall actually did quite well considering what Gon does to Pereira, which we'll get into. With that being said, he just rakes him. Where again, like I said, he throws the kick, as you can see. Sorry for the bad quality, but just rakes Tom Aspinall across the eyes. And it's really just another one of the moments where it's just like you're looking good, you're looking great against a like S tier fighter, pretty much, and you just ruined it all because you're dirty. But anyways, this fight would end in a no contest, or it's gone crying. Anyways, with his at least his most recent was against Alex Pereira. Dirty moment. His most recent dirty moment was against Alex Pereira, where again he was, in my opinion, he was beating the absolute heck out of Alex Pereira, and knocked him down with a jab. Where Alex Pereira is coping a little bit, saying that Ciryl Gane was tired, but I mean, this illegal back of the head strikes. Even though if you look at it and slow it down, I mean, he still obviously does some illegal elbows. I personally don't think it would have changed this fight outcome. Some people may say it could, but he was destroying, or maybe not destroying, but he was. I mean, if you look at the stats, he like outlanded him times 4. Like Alex Pereira landed like 12 of like 36, and Gon was like 54 to like 68. Correct me if I'm wrong on those. But he was putting hands on Alex Pereira, and he would obviously get the finish in the second round, where again this fight is just inevitably quote unquote ruined, and all people could talk about is Alex Pereira, like maybe appealing the fight, and the illegal back of the head strikes, or Herb Dean letting it go. But it really just like it sucks because again, Ciryl Gane is an elite fighter. Let's all be honest. He's an elite fighter, and this is the conclusion. Ciryl Gane is an elite fighter. In my opinion, he's one of the greatest heavyweights to never win the undisputed belt, at least for now. He could beat Tom Aspinall whenever they fight, but I mean, I think it's him or Alistair Overeem, who was the greatest heavyweight to never win the belt. Like, Gon has performed great against, obviously knocking out Pereira, the for instance Ngannou fight, the Tom Aspinall fight, even though it was just one round. Like, he bloodied him up and really, like, shut down all the boogeyman, quote unquote, expectations that we had from Tom. And, I mean, that's the final conclusion of he's an elite fighter. But he has a pattern of when he's about to finish a fight, or in Tom's case, like it's the low. In John Jones's case, where it's the low blow, the rake, the eye pokes. When he does that, and so, I mean, that's the final conclusion. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if I missed any moments. I probably did. You're probably gonna bring up the Volkov robbery. Maybe there was a fence grab that I missed, and maybe there's another moment that I missed, from early on in his career. With that being said, like I said, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.